The White House does have the report, and President Obama is being briefed on it by a range of senior officials who are members of his national security team, some of whom you saw on television earlier today. And
is that happening today?
It's happening right now.
That was White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest confirming that the president has received a classified report on Russian interference in the 2016 election. The report comes a month after President Obama called for a review of the DNC hacking. Director of Intelligence James Clapper, seen here, says an unclassified version of that report will be released to the public next week. Joining me now is Nayyera Haq, former State Department spokesperson and former White House senior director under the Obama administration. Nayyera, good to see you. Thank you for being with us. Explain to me how this government thing works, because President Obama has already put sanctions on Russia. Now he's got the report. What's the difference?
Well, the president was briefed by intelligence officials throughout. As we know, even as early as October, there were questions about whether or not there should be action taken against Russia. This is actually a report, the classified version, that the president will then see what information has actually been written down and what's going to be shared with the senators in Congress, which is different than what the public will hopefully be seeing next week on Monday. I mean, this is really turning out to be a showdown between Donald Trump and everybody else in the national security community, whether it's the President Obama, Democrats, and Republicans. So I think the question that we're all going to be hearing and trying to wrangle with is who really benefits from defending Russia in this entire process. Okay,
so Lindsey Graham and John McCain have really been both very strong on this. Lindsey Graham today said that the president hasn't done enough to punish Russia. He says that Obama has thrown pebbles and that he is, quote, ready to throw rocks. Now, we don't know what's in this report. Maybe you do. The rest of us don't. But if it details either Vladimir Putin's involvement or senior Russian officials' involvement or motivations, are there likely to be increased sanctions?
Well, the sanctions certainly aren't going to be happening, I think, in the next additional sanctions in the next 10 days before the inauguration. But what this is the United States having reacted to concrete information and defending national security. And that's something that is the responsibility of the president, whether he's a lame duck president or not. What is particularly interesting is the weaponization of information that Russia is undertaking. And those details hopefully will be in the unclassified version. And we'll see that Russia is not just a benign actor or being friendly, but at the highest levels trying to undermine American national security. And again, there's the skepticism of that is very startling, particularly as it comes from the future leader of the United States.
Nayyera Haq, good to talk to you. Nayyera Haq is a former State Department spokesperson and a former White House senior director. Thank you for joining us.